Hey everybody, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of Virgo placements in your chart or really important aspects of Virgo in your chart that you pay attention to. You could also be having transits in your houses in Virgo. So you might just feel more deeply affected at this time. Oh, okay, there we go. So this will be for the energy surrounding November 1st through the 15th. We do have Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio on the 31st of October. Happy Halloween. And it will remain retrograde until the 19th of November. Now, we have to take shadow periods into account. So honestly, I wouldn't recommend you to make any important or distinctive decisions unless you absolutely have to until about the first or second week of December. I would use this time to really reflect and think about something before you either engage in it or commit to it. This is going to be a pretty interesting retrograde period in Scorpio simply because, you know, it is a planet that is around death and rebirth. It is very phoenix rising out of the ashes. So I think we're going to be dealing with some final things that need to be nipped in the bud. And if we haven't really focused on nipping those things in the bud, they could be coming back very strong right now. So I kind of just want to give that warning. Not necessarily warning. I just think it's always nice to at least be prepared as much as you possibly can be with things like this going on. I mean, things are going to be unexpected regardless, but, you know, we can try, right? Okay, so keep in mind, as always, this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everybody, and that's okay. If it doesn't resonate with you, you can always check your moon, rising, Venus, or reverting back to earlier. If you have any other important placements in your chart that you know of, you can check those as well. I hopefully will be doing an update for the new moon in Scorpio. It's going to be a very important full moon because I think it's giving us the opportunity to really claim what it is that we want stepping into 2020. We are entering a new decade, which is a new karmic cycle. So that will be a new 10 years for us to really strive for accomplishing the dreams that we want and kind of putting the final kibosh on things that don't need to be in our lives as we are pursuing those goals or dreams. So choose wisely, my friends. Choose wisely. Sorry, just give me a minute because I'm seeing some really weird stuff and I'm trying to figure out how to translate it without... Because upon first glance, it kind of... I'm like, well, that's a really asshole move. So just hold on. I'm trying to get more information out of what it is that I'm seeing. I'll just go ahead and start talking about it. I'm literally seeing somebody take a safety pin or a needle and they're popping balloons. Some balloons have nothing in them, other balloons have confetti. And that's why I'm very confused, because I don't know how. I've never really seen this before, so I don't know how to articulate it. And I don't know how to apply it just yet. So I'm going to hold on to that imagery, and through the reading, maybe it's going to make sense. Part of me feels like it's unexpected surprises. And now I'm hearing the word, or that children's rhyme, Pop Goes the Weasel, so your guess is as good as mine. We'll just see within the reading. Show me what's happening for Virgo, November 1st through the 15th, please. Okay, maybe that's it. Oh, okay. All right. Huh. Oh boy. Okay. Okie dokie. I know. I feel like somebody out there is like, bitch, just say it. I mean, obviously you can see that the energy isn't the most pleasant, but I feel like the difference here is, what I'm seeing is, whatever it is that you're experiencing this Three of Swords energy over, it's something connected to the past, and I think it's coming up for review, which is pretty appropriate with the energy that we're moving into. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe maybe something's coming up for review, and it's finally, I mean, it's like Pop Goes the Weasel. I mean, something shows up, and I feel like it's the opportunity to really nip it in the bud, or get some resolution around it. I mean, some real resolution around it. But there is this thing of, I think it's going to be the recognition and the realization that, number one, it was good that it never went anywhere. You should be glad that it never went anywhere, because I feel like at the end of the day, you would have been making a very foolish choice or decision, and this person would have never, they weren't in the right place or mindset to commit to anything. I think this was a, when I say brief connection, it only went so far, but it could have either felt like it went on forever, or it could have felt like there was a very strong connection between the both of you. Now, there also could be realizations around this connection that the pure draw between the both of you at the end of the day could have been sexual. With the Ace of Wands there, that is very passionate, fiery energy. I always correlate it to sexual energy because it is, at the end of the day, it's very solar and sacral oriented to me. It has a lot to do with where desire is created. And moving forward though, even if we're gonna like step aside out of this energy, I mean, I think you're dedicated to fixing whatever's going on in your life right now, or what will be happening for those 2 weeks. The difference is that I feel like with the Fool reversed and the Empress reversed, if you're a female, I think you're reviewing, and let's, you know, whatever that means to you. If you resonate as a female and you aren't actually physically a female, take it. It's just, if you are in feminine energy, if you are in feminine energy, I feel like you could be reviewing very deeply where you're at, your core values as a woman, as a wife, as a girlfriend, as a mother. There's something here where you don't feel 100%. I feel like you're kind of dipping back into this energy of feeling like things aren't perfect, or they're good, or they aren't working, which is really energy. There, I'll just say that. It is interesting because I do think this is purely just energy. I think it is energy that's transiting through your life so you can work on these things and review on them, because your energy for last month or the last 2 weeks, you've been in a really good place. So I encourage you to actually go back and watch those videos. If you don't want to, that's fine. But the energy in those videos was really great. It was very lively. It was very happy. And I almost want you to be reminded of that energy, because this energy, I honestly think it just has to do with the transits we're having in Scorpio. I think because of how deep it is and how emotional it is, it's kind of making you go into this mental and emotional space. And I think you're overthinking it a little too much. That's going to be typical, but I think I don't want you to get stuck in it. I think it's here to serve a purpose, but don't let it linger. Let's clarify the Three of Swords. Yeah. Let's clarify the Ace of Wands. Wow. Wow. I'm sorry. That's like so crazy to me. When does that fucking happen? I love tarot, guys. Literally energies mirroring and clarifying each other. Whoever you were involved in, you guys actually could have had two very different viewpoints on the connection. And maybe that's where the heartache comes from, is you saw it one way and the person saw it another way. Now, maybe that's why those emotions are coming to the surface, because it's quite possible that you could be having a conversation with this person and that could be revealed to you, and it might hurt. I think that might hurt you. But at the same time, I mean, this is really strong mirroring energy. You guys could be having a discussion on how you wish the connection could have had a shot. I'm sorry, I want to start laughing because this is so awesome. I love it when this happens. This is crazy. This is really rad. So yeah, you could be having communication around that. I mean, shit, you guys might have both been involved in with other people when you met, and you still could be involved with other people now. And that might be why there's a little bit of awkwardness around this conversation too. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this person felt more successful on their own at that time. I think they chose themselves, and I think they chose themselves for very specific reasons. They could have had specific things that they needed to overcome before they could have a serious or established connection with another person. Let's clarify the Two of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. I feel like there either was a lot of time that you guys, it's like you guys would have periods where you'd reconnect and you'd see each other, and then there would be very long periods where you wouldn't. It was very touch and go. It was very sporadic, the way that you guys would be able to spend time with each other. It could have been every 3 weeks. It could have been every month, like once a month. It could have been every couple of months. I wouldn't say years, though. I wouldn't say you'd have years being apart. But it's like, in the time period that you weren't together, you guys would still think about the connection, but I don't know how much talking there was about the connection. We do have the Empress with the Six of Cups here. It's quite possible that at this time, and at this time as well, you knew exactly what direction you were going in, what your desires were, and this person didn't. And I think, like I said, that's why you guys were on two very different pages. And I just don't think it ever could have worked. I think that the connection was important for what it was. I think it revealed a lot to you, but I just don't think it ever would have blossomed at that time. This might be the big thing you need to let go of. So let's look at the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, new opportunities. Let's clarify the Fool in reverse. We have Judgment. And we have the King of Wands in reverse. Let's clarify the Empress. And we have the Tower in reverse. Ooh, yeah, I think this is a really big, this feels like an identity crisis. It's either an identity crisis or it is a crisis of, it's very internalized. It's not something where life is falling to pieces around you. It's life is falling to pieces within you. It also has a lot to do with spiritual awakenings or realizations. I think this is going to be a time period for you to realize what you didn't take action on and letting that go. Just let it go. Whatever is headed towards you, this Ace of Pentacles, I think you have to clear out this energy before it fully shows up at your doorstep or before you can make appropriate decisions around it. But with the 8 and the Ace, you get the 9. So the 9 is being comfortable. It is being set up. It is having the ability to make money for yourself, or even to just be in a more comfortable environment where there is more financially, whether it is you making that money or someone else. But with the Star in reverse, your dreams are coming up for review here. I think what it is that you want and you desire in life at this time, because it seems to have changed so drastically, I think this is a time period where you can really look at that and mull over it once again, so that you walk into 2020 with a very clear head about what's next for you. This is a time to let what needs to, in essence, like pass on or cross over. It's allowing that to do that in your life and to fully leave so you can be present with where you're going. Because I think that this is going to require a lot of your focus. So I'm going to clarify some stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think there's some stuff that's coming up. It's coming up. Oh yes. And it might have been, we're not in Kansas anymore. That's what I just got. So I feel like whatever's happening right now, I think it's going to throw you for a loop. But at the same time, It's almost as if these things have to come up out of these murky areas so that they can, for once and for all, be thrown in the trash. I think it's time to take the trash out. I think whatever you're still holding on to, or whatever you're still allowing to clutter your thoughts, your emotions, just your space in general, I think it's time to take out the trash once and for all. We have the Judge. We have the Pilgrim. And then we have the Queen and the Eternal Child. I think your current pilgrimage here in this new energy that you're attempting to take on is really understanding that you can be both the Queen and the Eternal Child. Just because you become a queen doesn't mean that your dreams, your desires, the things that you wished for, the things that you wanted out of your life are gone. The Eternal Child sounds exactly as the title does. It is eternal. It is something that never dies. The body form, shape, and position might have changed, but the spirit does not. And that's something that I think you really need to keep in mind moving forward, is the fact that, yes, although final judgments are being made on certain things, and although you are having to release quite a bit out of your life so you can make this new transition, please understand that this new transition is beautiful. You're able to reconnect and recommit to what it is that you want in your life and really work towards it. It might be slow, it might be like kind of in these increments, but you have the ability to do that, and that's what's important. So be gentle with yourself at this time. Understand that whatever is going on internally for you, it is just that. It is internalized. So if you do feel alone, if you do feel like things are getting on top of you, reach out to others. It doesn't have to stay inside. Don't be embarrassed about the way that you're feeling, because I assure you, if you are feeling this way, there are probably 10 other people. If you were in a room of 50 people, there are probably 10, if not 30 of those people who are experiencing some form of an internal crisis. I think we all do as human beings. I think we're just taught not to talk about it. I think people always need to remember that. We're just taught not to talk about things. We're taught not to, there's certain things that we keep to ourselves, and there's certain things that we talk about with others. And I think if everybody started opening their mouths all at once and talking about their own personal internal crisis, we'd all probably laugh. We would probably just sit there and laugh. Everybody's freaking out all of the time. I always try to remind myself of that. Okay, Virgo, I love you. Take it easy on yourself. Reach out to help if you need it. But you're going to be fine. This is just coming up for a review because it needs to. And I think that it's all of the questions that you had unanswered getting answered. That way you can move on with some resolution. And that it won't be something that continues to come up within yourself. Stay tuned. I will probably be doing a new moon reading for new moon moving into Scorpio. So yeah, keep up with that. Once again, thank you for subscribing to my channel or just watching. If this did resonate with you and you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, or comment sharing your own personal experience. I really like hearing other people's experiences, unless you're too shy to, and that's okay too. I honor privacy. So yeah, thanks for joining in, and I'll see you guys next time.